good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Yeah. Yes, good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, Petit Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Once again, it is time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
Well, I'm Devon Romain.
Devon, I feel I had the wrong one on. Yeah, let me try this one, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, let me hear now.
Better?
Yeah, I hear it again.
Yes, I'm Devon Romain.
Yes, indeed. And this is Hard
Talk.
Talk. Yes, indeed. Huh? It's our final Hard Talk program. Well, apart from the one tonight. Yeah. It's our final Hard Talk program. Yeah, when we say tonight, you know the repeat thing, right? Nice. Yeah, the repeater. Nice. Right. Okay, yeah. Well, it's our final program before election day. Yeah, not our final program. Our final program before election day.
Before election
nice?
day, yes.
Good, yeah. Not going to go and say we said that we last program.
We last program.
Kind of thing. Nah, we don't know about that. Nice?
Last.
Before election day. Eh? Nice.
Yes.
Starting with a little praise and worship this morning. Yeah, touching it kind of African Caribbean style, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Devon, we might have a guest in studio with us this morning. Yeah, we ain't saying who the guest is. We ain't sure who the guest is. Yeah, but we might have a guest in studio with us this morning.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
It's another beautiful, beautiful morning in pure Spice Country, Grenada.
Yeah, man. And watch, hey, whew. Yeah, you see Devon face, you see, man, we tired. Yeah, but we can't sit down.
Can't sit down.
We can't sit down. We tired, but we can't sit down.
18 hours away.
Yeah, boy, watch. 18? You thinking all that, boy?
Yeah. Being very conservative.
By this time tomorrow, brothers and sisters, make sure that you voted already.
Yes.
Yeah? By this time tomorrow,
10 o'clock.
Make sure that your ballot would already have been cast. No matter who tried to slow it to hell down.
Yes.
No matter who tries to instigate some sort of unnatural act with you.
Unruly behavior.
Yeah. Just make sure that you place your X on that ballot and it is in the box. Eh?
And don't worry about the sabotage. Those who trying to sabotage.
Tongue tying up this morning, boy. The tongue still sleeping.
Yes. Yeah, but nevertheless, Grenadians, it's this time.
Yeah.
It's this time.
And we ain't talk about pearls yet, eh?
No, we
ain't talk about pearls yet. We'll talk about right now.
Yeah,
nice.
Wait for a while.
Behold, he comes.
Yeah, we just touching a little gospel. Can't touch too much because you know YouTube go come and flag us and all kind of thing. Next thing we can't do nothing there. Yeah. In fact, what before they flag us, you know what we go play? We will get them our next one.
Yeah.
We will get them. Can't flag us on that.
No, they can't flag us on that one.
Yeah, she put on a wonderful performance last night.
She
man.
tore the place up.
Yeah, man. She had the place lit.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, don't play your sitting down home tomorrow, you know. Don't play your sit down home tomorrow, you know. You gotta get up and vote. Yeah, and get up early and vote. Let's just run through one or two things here. Because we realize that there are some mischievous elements out there trying to give you the wrong impression. So let's correct some of those wrong impressions for you. One, on the ballot paper, even though the returning officer will go over all of this with you before you cast your ballot, just remember these small things, because, for instance, it has been happening in Petit Martinique, a particular NDC, and telling the elderly that the way for them to vote is to put an X by the house. If they want to vote for the house, you ask them, who you want to vote for one thing? They say, oh, we're voting for NNP. You say, okay, then put an X by the house and a slash by the heart. No. If you do that, you have spoiled the ballot. There is, oh, watch. You are to put no other mark but the X in the box by the house. Yep. Any other mark will render that ballot invalid. In other words, that vote will not count. All right? So you want your vote to count. That's the reason that you're going and vote. You want to make sure that your vote counts. So when you're voting, you simply look for the symbol of the house. There will be a box next to it. Yeah, and you're going to place your X in that box. I can't tell if the box on the left or if the box on the right. I can't remember. And I don't want to go and tell you something, and then when you see the ballot, it's something else. But there will be a box with this. There'll be a symbol of the house, and there'll be a box next to it. Place your X there. Do not make any other mark on the ballot paper. Again, do not make any other mark on the ballot paper. Additionally, you are only to use what they provide in the polling station to write on the ballot. Don't leave home with your felt tip pen and say, I don't like to write with pencil, I like to write with pen. No. Spoil ballot. Yeah? So if you're going into the polling station, you ain't carry no pen and no pencil, nothing with you. They will have the pencil there, and they will provide it to you to make your mark. I know some of us excited, but take your time and make one mark, one X in the box. Okay? One X inside of the box. Try to avoid going over the line, that kind of thing. Make it nice and neat so you don't end up into any confrontation. When I say that your vote counts, because if you make the X a little too big and it goes down into the line with another symbol, they may say that, oh, that person really wanted to put the mark here. All right? So keep it within the box. All right, that's the next one. All right, so keep the mark within the box. Take your time and do it. Now we know that you love the 15 candidates of the New National Party. Whether it's Kindra in Carriacou, whether it's Anthony Boson in St. Patrick West, or Pamela Moses in St. Patrick East, whether it's the four lovely ladies in St. Andrew, Delma Thomas in St. Andrew Northwest, yeah, Kate Skeeter Lewis in St. Andrew Northeast, Sister Yolan Bain Hosford in St. Andrew Southwest, or Sister Emlyn Pear down there in St. Andrew Southeast, whether it is our good friend Oliver Joseph there in St. David, or Alvin Dabrio in St. John, Sister Clarice Modest out there in St. Mark, or the St. George 5, yeah? Peter David in the town of St. George, Nicholas Steele in South St. George, Gregory Bowen in St. George Southeast, Tobias Clement in St. George Northeast, and the man himself, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell in St. George Northwest. We know you love all 15 of them, but please, one X. Yeah? X. You vote, and you can only vote once, and they only count one. Some of them trying to tell them that, oh, if you mark the X more than once, it counts more than one. No. One X, one mark in the box. Yeah? They're particularly going after the first-time voters, yeah, and extremely elderly persons to try and confuse them. So again, yeah, again, you make the one mark in the box next to the house. Yeah, that is the way that you're voting. You're not putting 3X. You're not putting 5. Yeah, you're putting 1X in the box. That's it. Don't write your name on the paper. Don't put a little smiley face. Nothing else on the paper, or that ballot will be discarded. They will not count that as one towards the person that you would like to see as your representative. they will take that one out from that person's name. All right? So you have to be very careful with that. Okay?
See, because those are the things that we have to be mindful of, because these guys are trying every single trick in the book, right, to basically sway voters from either going to the poll or to make mistakes, right? We have to be mindful. We got to calm. We got to be collective, and we got to take our time and put that X right in the box close to the house. Make no mistake about that. It's the only symbol your eyes can see is the house. That is how important your future is. The house with an X right on the side of it. Let's not make no mistake. Be calm.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we will take your... Oh, boy. It seems as though some persons are calling. Okay, let's go to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Morning.
Good morning, Devon.
Good morning to you, my friend.
I am feeling so excited last night looking at that crowd. I didn't know we had so much people in Grenada. Like the whole airstrip was full. So I didn't call for a while. It's a couple of years I didn't call, but I want to say this morning, I'm proud of Grenada. I'm proud of NNP. I'm proud of Mr. Keith, although the other side call him the little man, but a little man with great power. And I bless you all this morning, and I look forward for, say, 15-0 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
We have to make it happen.
all the way we going, we take it. And I got more to say, but I just been excited
Okay, my
because
brother.
I'm so proud. So hope to meet you in July. I'll be down in July. See you all in July with all the victory.
All right, my brother.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Thrilling. All right.
Yes, indeed. And the phone number, 440-7377, and that was one of our callers here. He used to call Hard Talk a lot before, right? Yes. And the overseas line upon...
347-329-3101.
All right. Yes, folks. So, yeah, the caller spoke about pearls yesterday, but we just want to complete on the other one first. Yeah. Be careful when you're writing the ballot. Listen carefully to the instructions that are given to you by the returning officer.
Yep.
He will tell you exactly what to do. Now, individuals who are incapacitated, I know of a couple who cannot leave home. You listen to Hard Talk every day. You're registered. You want to cast your ballot, but you're unable to walk or leave your home. Here's what you can do. Call 440-1875. Right, 440-1875, the main office of the New National Party. Tell them your constituency, tell them your situation, and they will direct you, or they will get someone from the constituency that you're in to collect you and bring you out to vote. Most likely, I know the candidates have been working very hard and the campaign teams have been working very hard. So in most instances, I know they would have contacted, but there may be a situation here or there where someone needs a little assistance, right?
And because assistance is being provided, just let us know, right? Most of, as Sheldon said, the constituency branches will have their teams prepared, knowing, for example, the shut-ins, the disabled, those who need help. They will be on the ball. Today is one of the days that they will be going over the entire plan, ensuring that they cross all the T's, dot the I's, and be ready for the 13th.
Yeah, we ain't crossing the I's and dot the T's, eh? yeah. We ain't doing that one. Yeah. So, folks, 44073, there's a call on the line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Sheldon.
Good morning.
How are you?
We are great. Extremely tired. We're extremely tired, but we're great.
Yeah, man. I don't see you last night at all.
But that's not a bad thing. That means that I have me busy.
Yeah, I don't see you last night at all. Hi.
I couldn't, but you see, you could have find me in that crowd too.
Eh?
I refuse to go into the crowd, you know. When I watch people I said, no.
Yeah, man.
They ain't get me into that crowd.
Yeah, man. We holding on. I just waiting to looking for the victory tomorrow, please, Lord.
But you have to make it happen, so you have to get up
tomorrow
early.
Now, so I don't vote already.
Right. That's what I want to hear.
And tomorrow now, so I don't vote long. Although I have to work, but tomorrow now, so I don't vote long.
Okay, great.
And then to celebrate on Wednesday.
Yes. But we can't be selfish with the thing. We have to share it.
Yeah,
So
man.
we every now and again.
I have full confidence that we're getting that one again.
But what you have to do,
Uh,
the people that you went to the activity with yesterday on the bus and you have the number,
yeah.
you have to phone them tomorrow and you have to call them out. You have to
Yeah,
find
man,
out.
I don't make it clear with my 20 voters already. They have to go out bright and all, you know.
Right. But what I'm saying is this. Not only them, but everybody that you know that supports the new National Party. When you finish vote, call them and make sure that they make the vote already too.
Yeah, man.
And call them until they go.
I don't make a joke with them, you know.
Yeah, put some credit on the phone from today. All of you all, put credit on the phone today.
Why you have to
And
do send
tomorrow?
some for me? Send
What?
some for me.
You know that's a thing I never do.
Send some for me.
That's a thing I never do, my dear.
All right.
But I can tell you this. Everybody, get some credit on the phone and
Okay.
phone around.
Yeah, man.
That's a sacrifice each of us could make for our party.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? And phone around,
Uh-huh.
make sure that everybody go.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
They have to.
All right, my dear.
Well, you take care.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
Right.
Yeah, 440-7377. 440-7377. That's the number.
347-329-3101.
Yeah. Hey, let's say morning to DJ Shortleg, DJ Chemist, you know, all them fellas. Yeah, Fishman.
Oh man, short leg. I keep that good thing. Good thing yesterday was the last big rally. Short leg, doc. But you're taking
Going
a
up in
chance,
hospital.
doc. You're going up in the hospital, you know.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Sheldon.
Yes, my dear.
I want Celebrity people to come out tomorrow, bright and early. We're going Oliver all the way.
Yes,
I
my dear.
to go away. Oliver all the way.
Okay, my dear.
Bye.
Yes, St. David's. You got to get out there early. Everybody, we got to get out early. Listen, because remember, if they get their own in early and then they are successful in blocking you from getting your vote in, you will end up with the representative that you don't want.
Yep.
So you've got to go and vote early. We're not just saying this as joke or we can't take things lightly. Because the possibility is there, huh? That the NNP, every poll could show the NNP winning a particular constituency, any constituency. And you could lose that constituency if you are complacent, if you don't take things serious on the day. Yeah? So you need to take this very serious. You need to make sure that you get on out there and vote.
Yep.
Yeah? Get out and vote and don't be selfish.
You can't.
Yeah, pick up the phone. Call your friends. Hey, have you voted yet? Come on, come on. We have to do this thing. We have to go out and get the vote. Yeah? I mean, it's nice to see that you had that massive turnout. Indeed, many persons are calling it the biggest political event they have ever seen in Grenada.
I'm convinced of that.
The biggest political event, in fact, the biggest event that they've ever seen in Grenada. Pearl's airstrip was rammed. That's why a certain political party would not try to go there sometime. Yeah, they know if they go there.
Because I'm telling you, as,
They might have to
as
go
a
in the
young
playing
man,
field and cut it in half, you know. That way they might have to
as a young man in Sheldon, I've seen some crowds during the time of the revolution. I'm telling you, thousands of people. But never have I seen such large, I mean, that amount of people in one place in Grenada at any time. I mean, I can testify to that in my limited amount of years on this earth. I mean, yesterday,
man,
it was everywhere you pass is green.
Yeah. Let me say a special good morning to Louise out there and the Sister Isles. Hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning, my dear. Fanny, good morning. Muscles! Hey, my partner Muscles, man. Good morning to you, bro. Yeah, I hope everything is good on your end. Know you're working hard down there in the kitchen, man. Yeah, you're handling business down there. All right, I hope you're having a fabulous day today. Yeah, man. Hey, Zingo. Morning.
Yeah, Zingo.
Burbies. I've not Burbies for a while. Morning, Burbies. Yeah. Wade, good morning to you as well. Let's hit the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Scott, and good morning to Devon.
Good morning, my dear.
Morning, we're good.
Oh, I just phoned in to wishing my candidate, Mrs. Kindra Maturin Stewart. I wish her all the best for tomorrow, please God, and I pray for her. I have every confidence she'll be victorious tomorrow. I know the opposition say that we are greedy people. Carriacou and Pittimatic people is greedy people, and we eat it from garbage pan. But as inspectors say, we are hungry, but we are not starving. So tomorrow, please God, we are not starving. So tomorrow, please God, we will show him. We will put the eggs. We take in the last eggs, and we put in the last eggs, and we take in the last seat. Tomorrow, please God, for Kindra. All the way for Kindra, maturing still tomorrow, please God. I wish you all the best for tomorrow, please God. And we're praying for you, and we will be victorious.
Okay.
We will be victorious. Carriacou and Pittimatic will be declaring forth.
Let me just make sure.
Thank you.
My dear,
Hey?
before you run, what time you heading to the poll?
I can't hear you. The
What?
phone is very low.
What time are you heading to vote?
Oh, I'm going early.
Early by 5 o'clock, you're leaving home,
I
huh?
don't mind. I'm an early walker. I
Okay.
always get up 5:20, go jogging, so I could do that one time. But I'm taking my husband with me, and I'm taking friends with me.
Great.
Right?
Wonderful.
I
Yes.
got a few friends to take with me.
Right.
So we're going early because I want to cook the food early. Okay. Take care.
All right. Have a wonderful
Have a
day.
blessed day. You too.
Yes.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Hey, to all
And-
our friends in Carriacou and Pittimatic.
Let me just correct something because a policeman would have messaged me a while ago. He said there's not a box, but it's a space next to the symbols. So you're looking for the space next to the house, right? You wouldn't see a box to write the X in. They have a space there. Just make sure it don't cross the line into the area with the next symbol. So you'll see the house and you see the space next to it. So put the X in that space.
That
all right?
space right there. Yeah.
Okay, Papa?
All right.
All you put the X in the space next to the house. We're looking for the house. We're voting for the house. Because that is the party that get back 1,000. House. After our next party give up 1,000. House. That is the party that building in St. David 260 something. House.
In
That
Bushes,
building
Carriacou.
house. Yeah. that-
In Diamond St. Mark's.
house. Yeah. That is the party that negotiated back in 2005 and got 2,000 houses. Yeah. So just look on the thing for the house.
House.
If you see a thing looking like a church, you could put the X next to that.
Yeah, yeah. Like a steeple. We know that's a house, right there. Yeah. And the house, watch. And make no mistake, the house have lots of room. 40, 50,000 people is not enough to fill that house. We need more. We need as much as 70,000 people in that house to make a dent, right? So come out, right? Get up, get everybody out, and come and vote March 13th. You have, around 15 more hours to be up and vote? Don't miss that opportunity. The future of this country, the future of our children depends on us going out there and make the right choice. House.
That's why we say NNPites.
All the way.
NNPites.
NNPites.
Grenadians on our hold, because remember, not everybody that is going to be voting for the new National Party tomorrow are necessarily supporters of the new National Party.
Yeah, there will be thousands that will be voting for other
But
parties.
they are supporters of, no, they'll be voting for the new National Party, but they will be supporting progress and Grenada moving forward. We're going to take a short break.
For me, no, me can't sit down. From Palaco to Calvary, he took the walk for you and me. Then they nailed him to a tree. No, me can't sit down. Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. No, me can't sit down, sit down, sit down. Excuse me. What do you say? Me can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Listen to me. So no matter what you say about me, no matter what you do to me, see I know I have the victory, so I can't sit down. He placed a fire down in my soul, and the Holy Ghost is in control. control. The blood of Jesus satisfy. I give me pass, let me testify. Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. No, me can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. My God, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. I refuse. He's been good to me. I gotta testify. Put up your hands and give him praise. Put up your hands and Grenada, 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 Grenada. Somebody give him glory. I say no way. He's been too good to me. I gotta test. No matter what you say about me, no matter what you do to me, see I know I have the victory, so I can't sit down. He bless the fire down in my soul, and the Holy Ghost is in control. The blood of Jesus satisfies. Please give me pass, let me testify. Say me can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. God bless you, Grenada. Put up your hands and give him praise. 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 He's been good. He's been good. Woke you up this morning. Kept you in your right mind. No, I can't sit down. I gotta testify. I make no apology. He's been good to me. Brought me from a mighty long way. Put my feet on rock to stay. I gotta testify, Grenada. I gotta testify, Grenada. I gotta testify.
This one dedicated to all Grenadans. Yeah, man. Wave your hands. Hey, hey.
And then we marching on to victory. And then we marching, and then we marching
Yes, folks, and we're back. Yeah, you're wondering, playing music, all sort of thing. Those of you on the live would realize what is going on. Devon, go ahead and introduce our guest.
Again, we are pleased to have with us for yet another time Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. the Right, Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. Welcome to Hard Talk again this morning, sir.
Well, it's good to be here, especially after that special evening yesterday.
Yes.
So I'm glad to be here.
Prime Minister, we know that you have an extremely busy day today, so you'll be here with us only for a short while.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the past few weeks of the campaign?
Well, I thought I've expressed it already. This was probably one of the most satisfying campaign that I've had the opportunity to be part of. Not just leading, because I was part of a campaign, a winning team in '84, but I led several other teams into elections, and including the two periods in which we got 15 seats, 99 and 2013. And I consider this the least stressful campaign for me personally. I feel we have peaked at the right time, coming to the end, while others peak long before, hoping that we'd call it earlier. And I think from the general mood of the country, and you can see it in the meetings, people are ready to vote. They are expressing that interest, and you can see the temperature outside. It's with the young people. I see in front of me last night, for example, it's the young boys. Usually you see the young girls, but you don't see the boys. Not a lot of them, but you see them now.
Now you see them.
That's a clear indication of the attraction that NMP has with almost every single age group, particularly the young people in the country. So this has been an excellent campaign so far, and I think with just a day or two left, I think we're on the road.
Your message to your team. I remember one of the first messages that you gave on winning in 2013, and a message that you've always spoken about, is that message of love, unity, and being very, very, how did you put it? I'm trying to remember the exact words that you used on the stage when you were swearing in the cabinet, when you told people it takes so much energy to be hateful and negative, and so little energy to show love.
Yeah, that was the message. But the message to the team right now, the day before elections, I just came from my own constituency meeting, my top campaign team, is to dot the I's and cross the T's. There's no doubt in my mind that we have overwhelming support from the population of the country. But parties have had big electoral, that's not what I want to say. Parties have had big advantage going into election in terms of the population, but have lost elections or sometimes did not get the result they expected, the extent of the win. And the reason fundamentally is because they have not done the political hardcore work, administrative work, doing the canvassing properly, ensuring that your agents are in place and know what they're all about, and organizing transport and making sure you pick up your supporters and make sure they get to the polls, and all the other stuff that's related to preparation for election day. In other words, election has been and can be lost on election day. So that would be the strongest message. If you ask me about a philosophical message outside of election, and clearly you're in politics to help people. That's how I perceive politics. Although some people believe politics is about power for themselves. But those types of individuals do not last long in politics, because my own view is that the people are much smarter than us politicians. Sometimes we believe that we are the ones that's smart and we could outsmart the public, but we don't. And when they show us that they're smarter than us, then we turn around when we lose, we say that they're stupid. Well, the NMP would never say this. We have always respected the views of the people of the country. So Right now, I think we're on the road, or people just have to stay on message, show love, show interest in people. Do not get into fights with people, because the desperate man would encourage you to get into physical and other types of activities which send the wrong message, because he's desperate. And that's why you have to be extremely careful at this particular time. I urge all my supporters. Another point is, I always tell people, if you look at the construct of the NMP today, there are only two persons I know of, well, probably one, besides myself, in the present NMP, who was there in 1984. It's myself and Laurie Joseph.
Yeah.
So if we had not attracted other people who are just ordinary persons in society, not necessarily connected with political parties, if we had not attracted that group and attracted other members who support other political parties before, we would not be in this advantageous position. So clearly, it's in our interest to continue to engage people and show love. Some of us, sometimes when we see an opponent in our meeting who used to say all kinds of things about us, we get vexed. Man comes over to you. It's an admittance that he has recognized that you are deserving of his support. You still worrying about what he said 10 years ago and 5 years ago? And I always tell people, if we start going back, none of us will be left standing.
Yeah.
That's my point. I always make this point.
And then to see members who were on opposite sides and in the heat of battle would have said various things, and to see those two people embrace, I think it's the lesson to everyone else to follow suit. And I think that's the constant message from the leadership of the NNB, is to embrace, while we've been hearing a totally different story on the other side.
Well, I don't think the other side, first of all, if you don't love people, you don't never understand what you have to do to get them to like you too. Because you see people as a something to use, and that's a fundamental problem. They cannot operate that way. They always so self-righteous and so full of arrogance, the belief in themselves and not people. That's why they would never be able to admit a fault. And to me, the easiest thing for me is to admit my mistakes. I find it rewarding. I find it releases energy, stressed energy, and it helps you as a person to admit, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. Let's move on. But it's little children that refuse to admit when they're absolutely wrong, but big men apologize when you're wrong.
Well, Prime Minister, as you're on that particular point, a statement was made from the NDC platform yesterday by the political leader of the NDC, that it was the NDC government that paid for the judgment in relation to the defense of Grenada in relation to the Jack Grindberg issue.
I know Nazim Burke likes to lie, but there's some lies that has no basis in common sense. The only thing I could put that one down to for Nazim to even reply at all to something that he engaged in completely opposite way is pathetic. But it also thinks he's thinking one thing, March 13th. The same thing he told him, he has a lawsuit against me and I have to go to the court on Monday. And some people still wondering whether I'll be able to vote. Because Nazim might arrest me on Monday. That's the mind, that's what he's trying to do. It's a psychological thing he's trying. So clearly he's thinking election day. In the so-called court case, which never was the case at all. I don't think Nazim going to court with this at all because he knows I have all the facts. Secondly, he knows that he refused to pay. In fact, he said that the case is about me and Bowen. So me and Bowen had to raise the money and also get some of our friends to help in New York. And we paid the lawyer, and the lawyer came down here, and Nazim cursed the lawyer. He went and get out. They made statement with lawyers, Jamaican, because he was Jamaican by birth or some background, his background, family background. And they attacked him personally because they were very mad that he defended the country and won. Because what he wanted was Grenada to have to pay $1 billion, but Keith Mitchell and Bowen political stocks would have fallen. That's all he was interested in. This man cares nothing about Grenada, but only about Nazim Burke and his opportunity, the possibility of getting power. And that's why it's going to be extremely difficult for him to see that power that he wants. Because he's never going to use power for people. He's going to attempt to use it as he did before when he was in office, 2008. If Nazim Burke did not have a hunger for power and nothing about people, the NDC would not have split up the way it is. Have split up then. And secondly, they would not have lost the election as badly as they did. And that's precisely why they are in the political state they're in right now.
Prime Minister, while we on the quote-unquote the leadership of NDC, especially Mr. Nazim Burke, immediately after the 2013 election, right, it was disclosed that V. Nazim Burke applied for a job outside of Grenada, right? And it was said that you didn't give your approval or whatever. But my point with that is that what type of commitment, what kind of patriot would you say, Nazim is? Right after an election in which NDC lost, he was the deputy political leader and was about to vacate and basically leave the Grenadian people into the wilderness.
Well, I think we already have established Nazim as a selfish person. He thinks of himself first, second, and last. So to me, based on what we know about the man, it's not surprising to me that he would have thought of himself alone when he was making the decision to apply for a job outside of the country. And I will make it very clear, Nazim to be blaming me for he's not getting a job. If he was that qualified, they didn't have to call me. The fact that he has to depend on me to get him a job tells you of the fact that his lack of success in his own professional life. I didn't need Nazim Burke on NDC to get me work in Washington when I left and I lost elections and I went back to Washington and consult. I didn't need anybody. My work, academic work, and my professional work in Washington stood the test. Peter David didn't need an NNP or NDC to help him to earn a livelihood when he was out of government. The problem with this guy is he's clearly overrated himself as an intellectual, because as far as I'm concerned, he's very low level. He talks nice, but if you study what Nazim says, it's very low level. And I've seen them already coming from the academic circle. I've seen a lot of so-called heavyweight fellas when they're faced with tough questions, they're on our table. So I know them, and he's one of those persons like that. And pretends that he has the skill. You haven't heard about Nazim outside of Grenada in any success story. You surely go to Washington, you'd hear about Keith Mitchell. I don't boast about that. I don't boast. But that's a fact. So when I heard people talking about how afraid Nazim, well, maybe I afraid him physically, but I certainly don't afraid him intellectually, because I've taken him on several occasions in Parliament, and that's why I'm here today, and he's where he is today, because the battle has been won by those who put out the argument that the people can understand, and precisely that's the situation with him.
Prime Minister, you made a very important announcement yesterday on the platform. We know that Grenadians have been waiting with bated breath for the outcome of the initial announcement that you would have made. You care to expand any more on that announcement that you made last night?
Well, the minister would have dealt with aspects of it, but the fact is that we have evidence now, scientific evidence, that we do have significant deposits of gas and oil in at least one well, and there are several wells, some of them looks even more lucrative than the first one. They have to drill more. It costs a lot of money to drill them in the first place. So this is good news for us, excellent news. We had the results, but they had to be testing the substance to ensure that it's of high quality and quantity. Since that has been determined, that we can officially now make the announcement. But it takes some time before you start seeing proceeds from those resources. And we also get in legislation, as Mr. Boyd mentioned, which will put a framework for what we will do with the oil sector that we hope to develop. And Boyd mentioned that one of the things we'll be doing, the experts that we are going to get involved in the process, is to ensure that we do not make the mistakes of some of our neighbors. Because let's face it, the knowledge we have scientifically today, 50 years ago Trinidad didn't have that. So whatever Trinidad did wrong, or Venezuela, whoever, we are not going to emulate those mistakes. Our job is to put in a proper legislation using international and regional experts, and they're available. Train our people to manage the sector as appropriately as possible. So we could be sending our young men to go and do petroleum engineering and chemical engineering and so on as quickly as possible. And we are in the process of doing this. So this is an exciting time for the country. That's why we must put people there to protect our money.
Very important. Protection of our money.
Prime Minister, this means for a lot of the young people that are listening out there, it's a lot more than just the price of a tank of gas going down.
Yes.
It is the opportunity for these young persons now to gain training in the hydrocarbon sector. And these are very high-paying jobs that our Grenadian young people would be able to pick up. So within the next few years, we could have some going to different countries and doing training on that, and also training here. From this year. Because we're sure that we would be having these things taking place. Whether it's those working on the oil rigs and different things like that.
Well, the sky is the limit. But don't forget, the investment we're getting and the resources coming from this can be used to diversify the economy, to strengthen agriculture. Ramesh made that point last night.
Very much so.
Don't make the mistake Trinidad made. Abandon agriculture and concentrate heavily on the quick dollar and petroleum, because that always don't last in any serious way. So we have to use the resources from the strength, empower people educationally, and we also use it to ensure that we create skills training. So a young man leaving school, no matter who he is, should be employable. Right? So Tevin Andrews would be able to get a skill so he can get a job. Right now, with one O level and no skills,
it don't make sense.
Can't enter Tamsis.
It's going very difficult for him. But all people should be trained appropriately, because they're jobs that don't require the high level of academic achievement, which pay sometimes better than those who are wearing jacket and tie from the academic circles. So our job is to empower people. So if a guy is good at the academic, then we have to give him all the opportunity. If he's good at his hands, right? We create opportunity where the guy can use his hands to do well, and so on. So there are a number of things that we are planning. But this is, look, exciting times. And I said that though I wouldn't be able to sleep this morning when I get home, I meant it, because you felt so good watching the young people and the mass of people, and knowing the announcements you make, $125 million grant. I don't think this country has ever seen that. Grant from one organization, and we're the only one in the Caribbean with this. We didn't get that just so. The name we created for ourselves, the structural adjustment program success, the kind of governance system we have in place, the whole question of leadership on climate change that we've been providing around the world. These are some of the fundamental reasons that we're getting it. So we put the wrong person in office, all fall down.
Especially where we're seeing the improvements in the economy and so on. Prime Minister, flipping it a little but not too much out of the same discussion that we're having now. The energy sector and the present situation with WRB and government. What is the latest with that situation, and what do you have to say to the Grenadian people at this time about
well,
that particular situation?
Without killing that story, because we have done it enough, just to see that we basically, WRB's goal is to make as much money from Grenada as possible. WRB is not in love with Grenada.
It's a business.
Let's face it. They want to get the maximum profit from that bad deal that we signed in 1995, right? Now, our job as a government is to get the cheapest electricity cost for the country, which of course makes it cheaper for the consumer who has to use electricity for all kinds of purposes, private and otherwise. Secondly, it will aid in the development of the private sector, whether it's tourism, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, because right now small manufacturers can't survive with the cost of electricity. The hoteliers have to pay a lot more than they should be paying for it. It reduces their profit. It reduces their ability to expand employment opportunities. There's so many. The education is hurt because everything in education is driven by energy. Your technology, you can't really access computers and all available knowledge without energy. And energy costs will in fact determine how much you can do. Similarly, agriculture is good. A lot of it is based on energy cost. The things you use, the technology, all aspects of this. So, let me say this. My only concern is not WRB. I have no personal interest in WRB. We support foreign investors here. All I'm saying, the price of electricity is too high, and the deal that was signed was an embarrassment to the country, and we, as older ones, cannot leave that for the young people, the future of generations. That's my point.
Prime Minister, you are on record back in 1994 saying exactly what you're saying. Your story has not changed.
Nothing's changed, and I said the same thing about cable and wireless and its monopoly interest in this country. So they're doing as if it's some personal thing. I had no personal thing with cable and wireless, and thank God they never accused me. Now I'm being accused. So if I stand for my country, then I must be accused of being anti a group. And what is sad, because there are some local investors in Grand Lake, but they're not local investors in WRB. And that's what my charge is about WRB, who are the majority shareholders. So whatever the other shareholders are getting is pittance to the millions of US dollars that WRB is making. And I don't have a problem with them making the money. All I'm saying, the price of electricity is too high. There must be competition in the generation of electricity, which is what we're trying to drive. Unfortunately, we tampered with the whole social thing, and that's what they like, to use that. Even though that's the only thing they're talking about, which is trivial. We could drop that and still have major issue with the whole issues. So this social thing, social fund, like even if they close it down, government with its CBI program and the oil revenue coming will take care of that easily. That's not the issue. The issue is the price of electricity. That's simply what it is.
Prime Minister, less than 12 hours or more than, just a little more than 12 hours before March 13th election, the young people over the last 5 years has been energized with the leadership, with your leadership and the leadership of the team of the DNNP. And so in going forward, what say you to them, right? And so in order for them to basically protect what they have and not just let it
I think fundamentally what I would say to young people simply is that you have to follow a team of persons who will tell you the truth. We are not going to go and make promises that we know is simply unachievable, and we are not going to make you a promise from which we cannot show where the resource is coming from. Because making promises and coming up with ideas to offer people everything, it doesn't take a genius to do that. It's the fund, what you're promising is the key. You can't, in a time where you just come out of structural adjustment, got out of a fiscal mess that we're in, and you're talking about cutting this tax and cutting that tax and doing this and paying off this, and you haven't told me where you're getting the money from. And I think the same oil arrangement which they refuse to do and deal with, and we come back and have to restart it, is the same oil money I think they're depending on. Well, if we get the oil money as we expect, what they're promising is joke compared to what the NNP will do.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Indeed.
So the young people must just know, stay with truth. Stay with all the initiatives that we have done. They have a manifesto that demonstrate where we are and where we're going. We're not going to fool for you. Your own Prime Minister is leading science and technology in the region. The others would not have given me that portfolio if you didn't see us as the visionary government in technology. And that's where the young people's future must lie. We are not just in that area. We in all the areas we're talking about young people involved in agriculture, because we have to change the age range of the farmers and so on. The question of agro-processing and manufacturing, the question of light industries, small business development in several areas. The young people know who they could rely on. When we said we're going to come into government, despite how bad it was, and invest money in the young people, 3,000 Imanis, and then it kept growing. So we'll see more and more of that. Young people's future, education, health, training, development, small business. This is the party and the government to trust. You can't trust Nazim in anything. That's the main thing. You can't trust him. That's why I say, if you want, with the kind of money we're getting, let us protect our money. And make sure we put people in there who will protect our money. All right, Sheldon?
Prime Minister, your own constituency of St. George Northwest, they have been very faithful to you, been very faithful to them. What do you say to them? We know you have to leave within the next few minutes. What do you say to your own constituency? We're pretty sure every single radio and computer is on in St. George Northwest right now. What do you say to the people of St. George Northwest?
Big event tomorrow. Vote early as they're accustomed to, and vote solidly as they're accustomed to. And I say to them that I love them. I know they've given me a lot of love and support. I've said over and over on the platform, their support of me and their love for me has been the fundamental reason I'm Prime Minister today. And that's why I stay close to them, and I will continue to be that way. So vote early. I love you all, and let's keep moving.
All right. And folks, Prime Minister has to leave us. Of course, you know, it's a day before election, and knowing Prime Minister, that schedule is very, very busy, and we don't want to keep him here too much. So, Prime Minister, once again, we'd just like to thank you for taking a few minutes with us. Folks, we're sorry we couldn't take any calls, but believe you me, we'll have that opportunity later on to have some calls. So we're going to take a short break as Prime Minister departs the building, and we'll be right back.
For me, no, me can't sit down. From Palacor to Calvary, he took the walk for you and me. Then they nailed him to a tree. No, me can't sit down. Grenada, can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down. No, me can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Excuse me. What do you say? Me can't sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Me can't sit down.
Yes, folks, so we're back, yeah? Yeah, we can't sit down, but although you see me and Devon sit down because we don't do the program stand up, so we're sitting down to do the program.
The doc can sit down.
Yeah, he can't sit down.
He can't sit down. Oh, this man has energy.
Yeah, boy, a lot of energy.
71-year young man.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, he has energy. You know, I mean, to go all these hours and then still has another at least another 12, 14 hours again on his feet, moving, to meet,
And then someone is asking for us to bring KB now. Where we finding KB?
Where you finding KB right
I
now?
wish I could have
he
KB
he might just pop up. You never know. He may just pop up and everything. But there we had it, my friends. It was the Honorable Prime Minister. I mean, that was the voice you will be hearing on Hard Talk. It will be in your minds up until tomorrow night, right, in the celebration, after the victory.
Wow, Devon, the live is looking interesting. A lot of people have suddenly appeared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they've come with all sorts of negative statements.
Oh.
Wow.
That's good though.
Well, let's just welcome you all. And we love you all.
Yes.
Yeah, we care about you all. And make the right decision tomorrow and place your ex next to the house. Yeah?
And we understand some of you will still be asking questions and you'll be in a doubt. But you know what? At this point in time, even if you are in doubt, right, you still know and understand that the last 5 years of our country was one of the best times we've had for a long time. So that little doubt you may have going forward, just remember what went on in the last 5 years, and that will help you make that conscious Grenadian decision.
And the announcement yesterday by Prime Minister about the hydrocarbon deposits that have been found, and not just found, but usable hydrocarbon deposits that have been found in Grenadian waters is indeed a very important one.
Oh, yes.
I don't think that a lot of people, like, for instance, the guys on the blocks, I don't think they understand just how much this means for them. It means as such that you are going to have an opportunity now to do training and retraining. So, for instance, the guys who do electrical at Telfas, who may be able to be graded to a point where they'll be able to work on one of the oil rigs. Now, let me state this to you. At Petrotrin in Trinidad right now, Petrotrin, that's the oil company in Trinidad, the electricians who work at Petrotrin, their salary is more than a Grenadian government minister. The electricians who are working at Petrotrin in Trinidad, the cleaners who are working at Petrotrin in Trinidad right now, their salary is as high as a mid-level public servant here in Grenada. Yeah? So it is an area where you have to do a lot of training. So not looking at the cleaners and so, but for instance, electricians, individuals who deal with pipe fitting and that sort of thing, machinists, and all other areas that you would need for the hydrocarbon sector, for the oil sector, right? And we're speaking about the guys who are going to work on the rigs, and the guys that work in the refining process, and the guys who work in the transportation process and so on. When I say guys, I mean guys and girls. So that from this year, you're going to have to start sending teams of young people out to do training in that sector. But that's only one. It also means that you would be able to get funds now to, as Prime Minister would have rightly said, diversify the Grenadian economy.
Exactly.
So you're getting funding that you can put into agriculture and make agriculture more expansive, and especially if you're looking at specific areas in agriculture as niche marketing. Does it make sense for Grenada to grow 1,000 acres of tomatoes? If we don't use that amount here, and obviously it's something that all other countries have a significant amount of, when the better thing might be to go into a niche market with 1,000 acres of soursop.
Yep.
Yeah? Which is something that Grenada has a hold on the North American and European market. We are one of the only countries, if not the only country, allowed to send whole soursop to North America and so on. And also for the soursop leaf and the other parts of it, I think they're using the seed for something now as well. So that Grenada would have the opportunity to diversify its economy into those areas as well. And then I can already hear the rubbing of hands of many of the local businesses, particularly those involved in the construction sector and so on, when they would have heard that announcement, because they will be supplying a lot of materials and so not only to the different entities that are going to be set up, but they are also going to be supplying a lot of material to the people who are working there and finally going to build the house over. Or the young man who has left school this year, even if it's with 2 subjects, he gets into a program where he can gain some more subjects, because while yes, some people may have 1 subject, some people may have 2, some may have none, this new National Party administration will provide the opportunity for those persons to upgrade themselves and educate themselves to a level where they will not be left out of the process moving forward. And I think that is a very important point to make, especially to our young men and young ladies out there. Those of you that may be listening, you're hearing this via the neighbor's radio, you're lying on the block right now, or you're doing your laundry, or you're just laying down at home because you're unemployed right now. The opportunities are coming. We've confirmed where the money is going to come from. We've confirmed. Again, it is not going to be an immediate something, so you don't expect the Public Workers Union to jump up now and say, okay, we have oil money, we want X amount of money now. No, because there is a rollout period. You're going to take at least 10 to 10 years or so, according to the process that you go through, before you start to see significant benefits. That's why Prime Minister has also been speaking about things like the legislation that you have to put in place to protect the sector. Yes, so that any government that comes in, they would have to abide by that particular law and so on, those particular laws and so on.
And then, Sheldon, we have been talking about the workers of our country, the whole question of the pension, the whole question of the medical insurance and so forth for all our people. I mean, this discovery will enable us, right, to reach a little bit closer, right, to achieving that, right, and ensuring that we have the proper funding and so to for these programs, because you know the whole pension issue, there has been all sorts of talk and so about that, but now we have seen the hope, right, that these things will be definitely taken care of under the leadership of the new National Party.
Indeed. So, folks, when you're voting tomorrow, you need to vote wisely.
Very.
Are you going to put our country into the hands of an individual whose own political party had to come out and beg for $5 and $10 because of the mismanagement of the economy of the party? A person who, when they left in charge of the Grenadian economy, when they were in charge, the first time they were in charge was when the country was in chaos. Mm-hmm. And the PRA and militia will tell you that they still do not know whatever became of their monies that they had in their credit union and that sort of thing. Nobody is saying nobody thief it. Yeah. Nobody, and let's be clear, nobody is saying anybody thief it. What we are saying here is that the economic part of things was mismanaged at that time.
Yep.
Again, you roll forward to 2008 to 2013. And the economy, while the same Nazim Burke goes on television and says that how the new National Party administration is not paying the contribution of workers, so that NNP taking the workers' money and not paying it into the NIS. Only when the investigation is completed for the ministry to come out and state clearly that it was actually him, the same Nazim Burke, who was not paying the workers' contribution, and not only has the NNP paid the workers' contribution as of immediate, those who are working now, but they've been paying off the debt left by him to them.
Yep.
Yeah, paid to the NIS. The monies that were owed by the same individual.
But you know, Sheldon, this gentleman lies so much. I listened to a clip that the NDC had on television where V. Nazim Burke said that it is a lie, right, that the NDC sent home over 2,000 young people. Oh, my God.
Well, the interesting thing with that, and the nonsense, desperation,
Very much so.
The thing with that is simply this. The 2,000 young people are still around.
Yeah.
1 or 2 may have died. 1 or 2 may have migrated. But we can tell you this, that those young people who were sent packing, they're still alive.
Then they're around.
And not only are they still alive, they are voting.
Oh, yeah.
And not only are they voting, some of them have brothers and sisters who are voting too.
Yep.
Mothers and fathers who are directly economically impacted by the sending home of these young people at the end of 2008, who will be voting as well, who would be looking at the fact that Mr. Burke and the National Democratic Congress do not respect their intelligence.
They don't.
Have absolutely no respect for their intelligence. Devon, should we go to the phone lines?
Yes, we take some calls.
Okay.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes.
Morning.
So I hear you very low, boy.
Yeah, but go right ahead. We're hearing you.
Huh?
You go right ahead. We're hearing you.
Listen, I see NDC have on the jersey youths for more job. What do you mean by that?
Maybe they're going to make more children for more jobs. I don't know.
Because youths can't bring more jobs.
Well, what I'm saying is that they're probably going to make more for them to pick up more jobs under the NNP.
I know the leader is supposed to create jobs for the youth. I can't see the youth bringing more jobs. When they say youth for more jobs, I don't understand what they mean. I don't know if they think they could fool the young people with that, but young people these days are not stupid. Young people these days are educated, and even though they're not educated, they have common sense. They know what them leaders are talking about. I even listened to Dr. Keith last night. I looked at the body language of the people, and everybody was listening attentively, like Ivan was saying, because he was talking sense. You see? But when they're talking this kind of white talk and that kind of thing, they can't fool nobody with that. And Sheldon, the next thing, I think after the election, the ballot box should be very, very well protected, because you can't take chance with these guys and them. Yeah?
I can assure you.
I pray that as time goes on and the election, there could only be one result, right? But at the same time, I think the ballot box should be protected after the election. Make sure the government must make sure that the observers, everybody should make sure that everything is in order. All right?
Okay. All right, my brother.
So thank you. And when we're celebrating tomorrow, I think I will have a song, Keep On Moving. I think that should be the theme for the celebration.
All right, brother.
Good.
What I can say is this, that the Royal Grenada Police Force takes the protection not only of Grenada and Grenadians seriously, but the protection of Grenada's democracy. And the Royal Grenada Police Force, working together with the Parliamentary Electoral Office, they will ensure the security of every ballot box in the 200 plus polling stations
240 something, I think.
Grenada. They'll ensure that everything is properly secured. I have full faith in the commissioner and his team, and I know that they will do an excellent job tomorrow. I am positive on that.
And we have been given the assurance by Mr. Philip from the electoral office that everything is A-OK and is on the roll. The security protocol is in place, all the logistics, everything is there, and they are ready to roll. So as a people, we have to be confident of the persons that are there in the electoral office and our security services, that they will perform a duty that will be, second to none for our people.
Okay, and let me just say to the folks out there in the live, as you'd realize, I've been ignoring the comments of those individuals who are trying their very best to be disrespectful and who are trying their very best to gain our attention. Please do the same.
Yes.
Yeah? Please do the same.
Let's keep moving.
Those who make statements that, what do you call it? As my grandmother say, actionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, actionable, will be dealt with.
Oh, yes. It's
yeah?
there.
Because it's on our page.
Yeah.
We would have their information, and we can take action against them for that.
Most
all right?
definitely.
So just ignore them. All right? Nice,
Yes.
folks. 4407377. Let's go back to the phone line.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
How are you doing, guys?
Yeah, quite fine.
Yes.
Nice. Sheldon, I don't have nothing much to say today. But I think I will extend my hand for any help you may need at your headquarters or down south. You know where you know my number. How to get in contact with me.
Okay.
But we have to make sure first that my kids go on. We have to be with them because they are first-time voters.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to do my thing first. But I would like to make myself available in any way that you need help, please.
Okay, great. No problem.
Nice.
All right, my brother.
friend. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and that's the sort of thing, yeah? And you can offer your services. 440-1875. You could call the party office and give your name and number and the constituency you'd like to help in. to drive some persons. There are people who may be differently abled that need transportation. They may have a vision problem. They may have a mobility problem, and they need to be transported. And you may need a specific type of vehicle that you may own, an SUV or whatever, to go where they're living and get them out to go and vote and so on. So if you're willing to do that, if you have a direct contact, contact your constituency office, or you could contact the main office of the New National Party, 440-1875. Give them your name and your number so that you can be contacted, so that you can lend your assistance tomorrow, because we cannot take any chances. It is quite possible to be the more popular candidate and lose.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it happen. And you lose it on the election day. NNPites, take this thing seriously. Take this thing seriously. You can have, okay, we love the candidate, we love him or her. Yeah? But if you start the celebration now and you're tired tomorrow, so especially some of you as the indoor agents, you're studying the celebration later in the day and you don't pay attention to the job at hand. Forget anything outside of that polling station on election day. When you have completed the process and the votes are counted and the returning officer has handed in those official results, then if you want to run from St. Patrick down to St. Mark and back up again, that's up to you. But you must be focused. You must go to bed early tonight. I say you must be in bed early tonight. And indoor and outdoor agents, be in bed early tonight. Rested, relaxed, make sure you drink enough water, not too much that you end up having to go to the bathroom every few minutes and then you miss something that's going on. So don't go and drink no pile of water and thing, and you miss, because you have to go in the toilet, you miss something that's going on. Yeah, the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. Yes, yeah?
And you see, and we must not go about celebrating for the wrong reasons at this point in time.
Some people studying celebration. I ain't studying no celebration. I want to know that I win. That is what I'm studying.
The celebration that we could celebrate is the successes we had for the last 5 years, right? But no premature celebrations for the victory on election day. No, there is no celebration up to this day, up to now. We must be celebrating on the night of the 13th of March for an election victory. Let us celebrate for the good things that we have seen done by this NNP team led by Dr. Mitchell in the last 5 years. Let us celebrate that. Let us hold that close to our heart. Let us make that be, right, that mantle going forward for the bigger celebration later on.
Yeah, so listen, the only thing I want to know about tomorrow is that you, the Grenadian voter, are going to rise early, that you are going to go make your way to the polling station early. Yeah, everyone by now should know where they are voting. Everyone should know where you're voting already. Yeah, and we have some wonderful people, and we'd like to see each of them not just cross the line as the winner, but do so like Usain Bolt running against some 3-year-olds. Yeah? We want to make sure that we cross the line handsomely. Yeah? So, for instance, St. Mark, that the NNP usually wins. I want to see you win it by the largest margin ever. Set a historical record in your constituency. Yeah?
You know what I would love to
Honorable
see?
Delma Thomas. Make sure that a certain individual loses his deposit. What's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with that.
And in St. Andrews Southwest, Yolande B. in Horsford, I want to see, and I know that it can be done, that she win with as much of 800 or 900 votes over Sylvester Quallis. It can be done. She has been doing excellent job within the constituency, she and her team. It can be done. That's the kind of victory we want to celebrate.
Yeah, so let's get the job we want to get done is to ensure that by this hour, tomorrow, not one of you that are listening to Hard Talk and supporting the New National Party must say that you're not already voted and your finger already stained, and one properly cast vote is in for the new National Party. Yeah? I'll make sure that mine is in very early. I'll make sure that mine is in very early. Remember, they've been planning to disrupt the process, so you're going to expect delays. Yeah, you're going to expect delays. Another issue that has been coming up, been hearing, and names have been called, of various businesses that are telling their workers that you have only 1 hour to vote,
or 2 hours,
or 2 hours to vote, knowing full well that some of these individuals are living in St. Patrick and working in the south of the island, where they have to take basically 4 buses to and from. Yeah? And that they are being told that they have to come in by, in fact, one business, I'll report it to the Parliamentary Electoral Office so that they can send a note to them. And I think Parliamentary Electoral Office, while you all have done an excellent job thus far, I think it's important for you all, through the Employers Federation and the Inland Revenue Department, to identify, or Ministry of Labor, to identify all businesses in Grenada and ensure that a proper letter pointing out the law, and the law states that the persons can be in prison for 2 years and have a maximum fine of up to $5,000 for not allowing workers the right to vote on election day within a reasonable time frame. Now, you cannot tell a worker who is working in Grand Anse and who is residing in St. John that 1 hour is reasonable time for them to vote and get to work. That is not fair. I mean, if I am that worker, to avoid any issues, I try to be one of the first people in the line to vote and then go to work. So by the time people coming when the place is open 8 o'clock, I'm there as normal, but I've already cast my ballot. I've done my duty. It'd also be unfair of any workplace. And I'm saying this because I want you all to make sure that those who are complaining of that know the law, and that they know they can report such to the Parliamentary Electoral Office. The phone number of the Parliamentary Electoral Office, and they will be discreet with your information. You can ask for Mr. Ferdinand Phillip. Yeah? Their phone number is 440-2357. That's 440-2357. You can call the Parliamentary Electoral Office and tell them the name of the business that is giving that problem. Yeah? You don't even have to call your name. You're an employee of such and such a business, and this is what they're saying to you all. Because if they threaten you that they're going to deduct your salary or they're going to fire you and so on, if they threaten you in any way, they are the ones that are going to be going to jail, not you. They are the ones that are going to have to pay the state of Grenada $5,000. And it could be that they are charged and they have to pay up to $5,000.
Fine and confined.
And or go to jail as well, according to how serious the offense is. Let's say you have 20 people working with you and you decide that you're just doing everything in your power to stop them from voting election day because you know they're going and vote for the NNP. You're an NDC and you just do whatever you could do to stop them. Excuse me. In that case, full brunt of the law will be brought against you. There's a first time for everything, yeah? So Eric Matthew Gary had an election offense back in the 72 election? No, was 68, I think. 68 election.
Yeah, I think it was 68 election.
Pass a steel band through somebody thing. Gary wasn't easy.
Gary was a test.
Gary take a steel band and he passed it to the people meeting.
So Eric Matthew Gary was a force to reckon with, you know, and it's so important. And you know, appealing to all our people, right? Let us be calm, right? Let us understand the importance of us going to vote, our families going to vote, right? Encouraging young ones to get out there and vote. They are registered, ensure that they vote. Yes, you may not want to dictate to them as to who to vote for, right? But you can lead them, you can show them the way, let them make up their minds, but get them out there to vote for their future. It is important to remind them, right, of where we were between 2008 and 2013 and where we are now in 2018. We have moved a long way. We have progressed. Can't we stop now? I don't think so.
Yes, indeed. And oh boy, this is the second time I've done this. I've put a caller on, forgot the caller while I'm explaining something, and oh goodness, let's go to the phone line.
Good morning.
Good morning, Devon and Sheldon.
Good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
Quite fine.
Yeah, I just want to commend the New National Party for, the wonderful event, campaign event they did yesterday. I happened to be up there, and at a point I really felt I wish this never ends. It was such a lovely feeling there. People are so happy. I met people who just greeting you. They don't know you or anything like that. I just felt so loved and so a part of this whole movement. And I really think it's safe to say that the New National Party is really an institution in Grenada. It's not just a political party. And just want to encourage people to be calm tomorrow, please God, and pray, ask God's guidance, and to go out there and do not look for any confrontation. What I'm saying is really to echo many of the sentiments you've been expressing all morning, and of course to be vigilant as well. And I want to wish all the candidates the very best, and of course the supporters of the National Democratic Congress. They also have their rights, their constitutional rights, and also want to wish them the very best too, and as I say, may the best man win, And God bless you all for the programs you've done throughout the past 5 years, thereabouts, It was a wonderful effort on your part, and I think it largely contributed to the successes we're seeing at the moment now, So thank you all again, and God bless you all, guys.
All right, my brother. Thank you. 4407377 to the callers who I twice it happened to me, because I am tired. I'm extremely tired today.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon. How are you?
My friend.
Quite fine.
Oh, everything okay?
Yes,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Under the conditions, we are right.
We the supporters of NMP in St. George, we are ready, more than ready to go out tomorrow morning early and vote for our candidate, Dr. Kit Mitchell. All right? He is the leader that Grenadian people could trust. And NMP is the party that Grenadian people could trust. When we look at the development and achievement for the 5 years NMP was in office, there's no comparison to 5 years of negative growth under the NDC. All right? But look at, again, Brother Sheldon, you have NDC came out with a manifesto. Right? Free this. But I want the Grenadian people to know that the statement that you have this man from Grenville and St. Andrews, Philip that was making about extending the tax base.
Broaden the tax base.
And Brother Sheldon, they only come out with that manifesto to try to fool people. But if by the widest margin they was to get into office, what Philip Alexander is saying is that is exactly what they're going to do. Broaden the tax base. Everybody in Grenada, everybody in Grenada got to pay. The fishermen who want to fish, everybody. Like remember, they tax the dead. The dead they tax the dead by putting some VAT on coffin. So everybody is the penalty under the hands of NDC. All right? And look at people. I want people to remember what they go through under NDC and where we were under them to where we are now. All right? You could see light behind the tunnel. You could see the peace. You could see joy. You could see peace and stability in our country right now. And I want to say to them, the party that cares and the party that makes progress and taking the country forward is NMP. So I ask every Grenadians who want to see growth and development and prosperity throughout the country to go out and vote for NMP. NMP is the best choice. It's a clear choice. And let us keep moving on towards victory.
All right. Thank you very much.
You all are wonderful.
All right. Sheldon, let me ask you a question. Direct. How can that be done? How can you broaden the tax base and at the same time cut taxes? I'm a bit baffled. Explain that to me, please.
Let me put you. One is cosmetic while the other is not. When I say cosmetic, it's cosmetic it could be a cosmetic thing to say that you're cutting taxes. Mm-hmm. So while you reduce tax on one particular area or in one particular area, you may decide that you're doing. Come, sit down here. Come. Don't run. Come and sit down. Don't think again. I say, come here, Zingo. Nice.
Zingo.
Right. Nice. Yeah. one Northwest man go and next one.
And next one reach.
Yeah. Yeah. So while it is cosmetic, and I think a lot of what the NDC has been speaking about are cosmetic in nature. So they speak about cutting taxes, but they also speak of broadening the tax base. In other words, for instance, in some countries, everybody pays income tax. Everybody that's working pays income tax. No matter if you're working for $300 or you're working for $3 million, you pay income tax. Broadening the tax base could be that everybody pays income tax. Yeah, because you are broadening the volume of people who are paying. And while you do that, you may say, okay, but we're going to reduce property tax by 10%. Or we're going to reduce professional license for doctors and lawyers and so on at 5%. You may say, yes, you're doing that, so you're losing 5% on those professional fees, or you're losing the 10% on the property tax, but you're going to make it back by broadening the tax base now.
That's my point. Well, when you get
But the Imani trainee who is earning a stipend, which would be something that they pay in income tax on, is going to lose a 10 or 15% of their salary.
Exactly.
Yeah? So it's going to start affecting the most vulnerable among us.
That is,
Zingo,
that is my point.
Zingo, you're based in the U.S., and we want to know how much you're working for, right? We want to know that. But you're based in the U.S., and basically the workers, nearly everybody pays income tax. Yeah. Well, not only income tax, you have local state taxes. You have so you have the federal taxes that you have to pay. So it's various taxes that you have to pay. Yeah. But I think the tax discussion here is one in that from the get-go, the taxes that have been reviewed here in Grenada, not imposed, there's a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, if a tax existed since 1960 something,
50 something in some cases,
or so since Sir Eric Matthew Gary was in the Cub Scouts,
since before the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean some of these things and them was just the way they were since Sir Eric Matthew Gary was in the Cub Scouts.
So you needed to adjust
since he was
them.
reading the Eucharist at church. Yeah, so but since those days, not the homily does not the Eucharist, right? Yeah. Homily, right. Anyway,
I know much about.
You used to be in the church, I don't know. But since those days, it means that those had to be reviewed. So you review the existing ones.
Yes.
What the NDC is doing is taking that review and saying that's a new tax.
But as we're in the tax discussion, I don't even think that them guys have a clue of what they're talking about, because you want to broaden the tax base. These are the same people that talk about NMP has 32 taxes on the people back. And when they talk about broadening the tax base, I wonder if they know what they're talking about. Because you want to give a one-off payment of $1,500. Where that money coming from? You have to ask yourself where that money from. They're talking about cutting taxes on one hand, and they're talking about broadening the tax base on the other hand. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about increasing the money pay to $1,000. So I want to know where they're getting this. I want to know where that extra money coming out from.
But the Imani were told that before, and Imani's salary is already at $1,000. Has been at $1,000 since we started the program, because it has been graded according to your qualifications.
Well, Sheldon, these guys and them for 4.5 years, they were not living in Grenada. They don't even know what's going on in Grenada.
Don't seem like they're living in reality either.
Them men know where vacancy they in the Caribbean.
Yeah, they know that.
Them men know where to apply outside of Grenada for big jobs.
Of course, for big jobs.
Yeah.
And turn around and play patriot, and they love Grenadians so much, but they wanted to just vacate.
Willing to just leave the soldiers on the battlefield.
But that is what they're all about. I mean, if you look at the history of Wiener Zimbabwe, and I could tell you from a child growing up, right, and come to the revolution, these guys are all about vacating, leaving the struggle and run, saving their skin, not about the people. You know, I mean, when you look at them, the chairman Vincent Roberts and Glenn Noel and these guys and them, these guys were,
Let's take a call.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello.
Good morning. Okay, we lost that call.
That's me.
Yeah, yeah. So when you hear about these guys talking about patriotism, and so these guys just wanted to vacate and leave the Grenadian people. I mean, in everything and run out. Dr. Mitchell didn't do that. When Dr. Mitchell lost the election in 2008, he didn't pack up and run. No, he consolidated.
No, he's one of the most qualified individual in the region. You know, when he lost, did he pack up and
no, he didn't
start applying?
Good morning and welcome.
No, he consolidated.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Your live caller, go
What's
right
your number,
ahead.
boy?
Your live caller, go right ahead.
Yeah, what is your cell number?
We'll speak after the program, sir.
All right.
Yeah, we talk after the program on that one. Nice. Okay, Papa? Nice, good. Right. 440-7377. That's the number for you to call and get on to the inside.
347-329-3101.
Yeah, so you can call us on both the local and the international lines, right? Yeah, let me see what's going on in the live. I check the live for a little while. They that's some people and them trying all kind of thing on the live. Let me see.
We have ignored them for years now, and hey, it's only one more day before election.
They've been trying to get all live.
Yeah, they've been trying to
get all live.
Yeah. You see, and this is one of the things that
because they see politically they're going and dead. They're trying to get on we live. Let's take this call and then we come back. We'll come back door and
good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kami.
Good morning, Kami.
Sheldon Devon.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you all doing?
I see Miss Kami at the front of a crowd of tens of thousands of people.
Patty, good morning, and Matthew. Morning to Mr. Watson, everybody else there. I just feel here relaxing. Nice breathing today, but it's been cool down. We're just waiting for the hour.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I just want to advise everybody that is listening, and especially the young people. That's how we come out yesterday to go inside. Try and get up very early and go and do what you are supposed to do. I think we educate them enough, so they have to know what to do. And good morning to everybody again, and Sheldon, all you tune in.
All
well,
right,
I just there listening, you know.
All right, my love.
Tongue nice, breezy, and nice breeze and sunny.
All right.
Morning to everybody out there, Katian and them in America, everybody. Have a blessed day.
Okay,
all right.
And I always wish a little prayer to God still, you know.
Yes.
Let's put God first.
Yes, indeed.
Have a blessed day.
All right.
All right, Mr. Devon.
Yeah, take care, darling.
Bye.
Okay. Yes, that's Kami.
That's Kami.
So Kami yesterday, she to the front.
Right
Kami
to the
said
front.
she going to the side and
To the
take.
front.
Kami come and she stand up right there to the front. She has she chair. When she can't take it, she sit down. But she right up to the front. But she couldn't sit down. I find she get up.
Nah, she get up. She
can't sit down.
She can't sit down. That action was too much.
What?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I just called to tell you I'm ready tomorrow. Please got to go and vote.
Yes, my love.
for me skate.
All right. That's one in the back for Skeeter.
That's one in the back for
Skeeter. I don't feel bad.
So you just make sure you go early.
Yeah.
Right? So you could have all the time in the world to vote, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
And remember, folks, we have to call our people out.
Yes, very important.
We can't see that a man does vote for NNP. But he bothering to do something else and he ain't taking the time to go and cast the ballot. Go early and cast the ballot. Yeah, go early and cast the ballot.
Well, I'll be making sure that my people go early, cast the ballot, and ensure that we secure our biggest margin.
Yep.
You have to do that, huh?
My task is simple tomorrow. My task is just to take people to the polls. So I'll be based at a certain place, and you know
do what you gotta do. Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you this morning?
Not too bad. We fine. We just there chilling. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Go ahead. We're hearing you. Go right ahead.
How are you this morning?
We are good.
Well, I'm bringing you greetings from the
For Carriacou.
continent of Carriacou.
Carriacou.
I just realized who called it.
Yeah. Telling me breaker here.
Bonfield,
Bonfield,
your breaker is here.
We make it up. We make it up.
You make it up? All right. That whole cuckoo thing would really bring enemy.
No. I love Bonfield. Bonfield is like my brother. Yeah. Only my brother could eat my cuckoo and get away with it.
Yes, well, that's good to know.
My bad Bonfield. So how are things looking, man?
Well, I feel good, man. I told them the other night, I said, if I was in church, I'll be singing, I feel good. I feel real good for Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. But I just want to take this opportunity to say thanks to our Prime Minister for embracing us with his presence on Saturday. And all our friends in Carriacou and PD Martinique, I want to urge them to come out and vote early tomorrow. So, with that being said, I see you guys had a bumper crowd down there, so we just send the love to my extended family in Big City. And just to, just waiting to share the love tomorrow.
Right.
I'm all jacked up. I'm all excited and ready to go. I'm like a horse coming from the stable.
All right.
So, our sister Kendra is doing very well, and we had a motorcade yesterday, man. It was love. Real love. You can feel the people are excited because we want to show the world that we're claiming what is rightfully ours. This is our time. The young people have a bright future with the new National Party, and we just want to embrace this opportunity with a high level of enthusiasm, and the future look good for us.
Yes, indeed.
Good for us. So,
yes,
I know you guys have been doing a wonderful job down there. So, once again, Carriacou and Petit Martinique, we were in Petit Martinique on Saturday, and it was love, man. Love. The people of Petit Martinique, has always been close to my heart personally. And it was just a great time for our country.
Mm-hmm. All right, my brother, and we look forward to everyone on the islands of Carriacou and Petit Martinique getting up early and going out there and cast their ballot. We're looking out for that early o'clock. We're not sticking. We're coming out early and make sure that the vote is there.
Well, I'm looking forward. I'm all excited.
All right.
I have my coffee and everything, my Thomas with my juice and everything ready to go tomorrow. I ain't resting at all until 6 o'clock.
Careful with the drinking too much liquids, and you had to end up going to the bathroom too regular.
I could control that, man. I was a cab driver in New York for years. I could control my bladder, man.
You better be able to control it, because we ain't want nothing end up in the box that shouldn't go in the box.
No. I'll containerize everything.
All right, my brother.
Yes, all the best, and you guys hang in there, and tomorrow evening we go extend the love to the rest of the world.
All right.
Yes.
So thank you very much. All right.
All right,
Bonfield.
Yeah, so we're hearing out there from Carriacou and Petit Martinique. They are ready.
With a wonderful weekend in Carriacou.
They are ready. Yeah, the Prime Minister was up there on Saturday with that youth forum. In Petit Martinique.
In Petit Martinique, yeah.
Yeah, that was a wonderful one.
And imagine he returned from PT Martinique and come and do about 8 meetings on here.
That's said Saturday evening.
That's ain't easy to do.
This man...
It's not.
Has our problems doing 3 sometimes.
I look at the Prime Minister. I look at the Prime Minister.
I does have problems reaching to 3.
Yeah, I do 3 already.
I am free to say it.
I do 3, yeah.
I does have problem to reach 3.
I do 3. I start in the south, I hit St. John, and then I reach in St. Patrick. I was supposed to go to St. Andrew. When I reach St. Patrick, I say, nah, forget it. I can't make that one. No way.
There has always been talk, and we have been saying it here, the whole question of the intimidatory tactics used by NDC, right? To stop persons from going to vote, right, to discourage them and everything like that. And we just want to warn persons again to listen to them. For example, one of the things that is out there, that the NNP organization has, for example, seals for the electoral box. In other words, when you vote, right, and the electoral box is being sealed, right, and heading for the headquarters and so, right, persons are questioning whether or not the NNP operatives or persons in the polling division have seals so they can unseal and seal back. I mean, they are trying so much things to implicate persons in all sorts of nonsense. I
Devon,
mean, that's...
you feel it easy to get a love twice?
It is not easy.
Yeah.
So you watch it. Oh my God!
The heart is your symbol, but we don't want you to put it on your soul.
Yeah,
I mean,
but not only that, tabanka is a hell of a thing, When a man horn you once is something else. But when you get it twice, is oh my God!
Because it's difficult. So they're looking for all excuses now. Any excuse that's what they're looking for right now, to try and say this is the reason that we've lost, that is the reason that we've lost, and so on.
Trying to compile cases and all sort of thing. It's useless.
The good thing though is that there is a team from the Organization of American States on island. They went around yesterday. I believe they would have passed at both political rallies. They came to the NNP rally. They passed first to the National Democratic Congress rally. So they've been to the various rallies and that sort of thing. They've also been visiting the different political parties and having conversations with them. They've been speaking to the business community and different organizations, and so they have been around and are continuing to be around into the process tomorrow. One of the things Prime Minister said is that he wanted them here earlier than normal, not just coming the day before and then you deal with the voting on the day
at
and
least
then
a couple of weeks.
Yeah. I think that's the direction that they need to move, so that nobody could come and say, well,
this
okay, somebody thief in here and somebody thief in there.
You see, because I think the build-up to the election day is very important for observers. So you will basically see what the different political parties are engaging, their conduct, and you will be able to make, right before the election, you will be able to make a statement and say, look, this is what is going on and so, but as it is right now, they are here. Right, and as Grenadians, we are grateful. Right, they come in and observe and ensuring that, as usual, Grenada's electoral process is free and fair. Good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Oh, we're fine.
Yeah, I only called to find out, like, the elderly people, if they have to stand in line when they're going to vote.
No.
Pardon me?
No.
They don't have to stand in line.
When, like, for instance, you see an elderly person that's come that could barely even walk, much less stand in the line. They are expedited. When I say expedited, you bring them straight through.
Straight through?
Yes.
Yeah, they go straight to the front. So the elderly people do not have to worry that they're going to have to go and stand up in line. Also, people with medical conditions.
Okay.
For instance, I have a relative who has a spinal condition, which means that they cannot stand for long periods of time.
Okay.
When those types of individuals go as well, the returning officer is alerted, and once that person's name is on the list there as a voter, they are allowed to vote early, one time. You just vote. Whenever you reach, you vote and you leave.
Yeah, because I want to go early and come back because I can't stand in the line. This is what I called to find out.
No. Once you go and you're in that sort of situation, you're allowed to vote quickly and leave.
Thank you so much. And then all the way to God.
All right, my dear.
All right, my love.
Okay, bye-bye.
Also, too, we are encouraging all Grenadians, citizens who eligible to vote are in the line. When you see an elderly person coming in and so on, give way to them. It is just part of us, right, that we give way to our elderly citizens to ensure, that the process is not too tedious and so for them. We know that there is a plan to slow it to hell down, right? But as a conscious people, we have to respect the elders and so on and give way to them, right? At least those who want to slow it to hell down, they may have a conscience too.
Yeah, so we have to be vigilant. We have to be very careful. This is serious business.
Serious.
Rest tonight. No lineman tonight.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
I'm just trying to get some information. You see, right now we have somebody called, some patient orders go in clinic in Paraclete every second Wednesday. And if holidays Wednesday, I would like to know what condition they will be on.
For Paraclete?
Yes.
Okay, what I will do is I will find out that information from either the center in Paraclete or the Ministry of Education. We will not be having hard talk tomorrow, but I do have friends in the media that I can send that information to at all of the media houses, and they would broadcast it so you can hear. So listen out for it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so Paraclete for the group that's there every
Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Every second Wednesday.
Every second Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll find out that information for you, my dear.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and you have a wonderful day today.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
I think the nurse, and I know the nurse that is in charge up there
You know the nurse?
Parkleet, yes.
So you'll contact her?
Yeah, Nurse Buckmeyer.
Okay, so you'll contact her and then we'll pass that information to
most definitely.
all the media houses and so. Yeah, and hey, Shaggy! Morning, I'll send information for you, Shaggy. Sending that information for Shaggy. I must send it for Shaggy.
Yeah.
Must send that for Shaggy.
It's important because we want a healthy nation is always a wealthy nation.
So, folks, just note tomorrow, there will be no hard talk.
No hard talk.
So there'll be no hard talk on air tomorrow. All right? These three men you see inside here.
Tomorrow we're ramming up with exit.
Yeah, these three men you see inside here gonna be real busy otherwise tomorrow.
Yeah. Transporting.
Yeah, I'm gonna be very busy tomorrow.
Friends and
While some people trying to slow down the process, we won't speed it up.
we keep moving.
We're gonna be expediting
Yeah.
the process tomorrow.
It's going to be seriously expedited in several levels.
Numbers like crazy tomorrow.
There must be no complacency on our part.
No
room for complacency.
Devon, our people are ready. I'm telling you, our people are not complacent. Our people has listened for months, because this campaign started way back since last year. We started. Hard Talk has been there for them. Hard Talk has been advising them, and today we still advising you. Please do not say we win already. Go take your early rest tonight, lots of rest, and get up early. Fresh. Bathe. Put on your nice dandan and go and ram it up by the house. You see people yesterday, why?
What I need to say though to the thousands, the tens of thousands of you to know to that national rally yesterday is that once each and every one of you who are registered voters, which I believe would be in the 90% range of you who were there yesterday.
Around 90.
You go have one or two who wasn't registered and they come.
Those
They
definitely.
visit in Grenada, they come, that kind of thing. And we're going to leave that on somewhere in the 90. So in 90 something range.
We leave at 10%.
I ain't even leaving a full 10. You know?
Yeah, let me leave at 9.
But we're leaving it in double digits. But what we could say is this, once each one of you comes out early and cast your ballot to make sure that the progress that's taking place in Grenada continue, that when we hear of the decision of government to take on that very important issue of the price of electricity, that's it, and it's not taking on WRB.
No,
it's not taking on Grenlec.
No.
It's taking on a particular issue, which is the price of electricity.
And it's just too high. It's just,
that's the issue.
Just to kill it.
And that's what the government is taking on. And there are things tied into that. Employment is tied into that. If the hotel can't pay the electricity bill, they're going to have to send home people.
Exactly.
And who they're going to be sending home is your children and your brother and your sister, or you who listening right now. They can't pay the bill. They have to start trimming somewhere. So if they have 4 gardeners, they decide we're going to keep 2. They have 4 fellas seeing about the pool, they decide we're going to leave 1. They have 6 people cleaning rooms, they decide we're going to use 3. Or we're going to rotate the 6, have 3 working now and 3 working after. So we pay the salary of having 3, but 6 people get half the amount of money that they used to get before. So they are going to find creative means of managing their economic circumstances. This is why we need to get the price of electricity down. This is what is happening in the hotel sector from time to time. It is a reflection of the cost of operating the business. They can't have a hotel and not have lights outside for when the guests coming in and out. No matter day of hour, night, and so on, they must have lights outside. Once it's dark, they must have lights outside for the guests. They must have air conditioning units in the room for people who come from cooler climates. So there's a lot of money that they spend on this thing called electricity.
And most of them right now operating with electric stoves.
Yeah.
And so you see.
So you must address that particular. It's simply that is what government is doing. Government has no fight with Grenlec workers.
Nah, come on.
Well,
because the amount of Grenlec workers are related to us in the National Party and members of the team.
About 80%.
The amount of, nearly every one of them, because every Grenadian related to another Grenadian somehow.
Yes.
Let a Grenadian go and do something with us. Find out how fast you're related to them, you know.
Very fast.
Boy, that fella day, my grandfather had a child up in that area so, and I hear that he had another child, and that child had 2 children across so, and this fella you hear about
So
that
his
went
family.
and run day,
Yeah.
that fella was adopted by them when he was 2 years old. So that is how that fella become part of my family.
Yeah.
So that fella is related to me.
Good morning to Najuma Mark. How you doing, my dear?
We are more than pumpkin vine here, you know, boy.
Yeah.
We are pumpkin twine.
Yes.
A certain political party, yeah, I mean, it's not Grand Lake alone that killing with the prices.
Mhm.
Remember when NDC was in power?
Yeah.
Them hotel and them had to rotate staff.
Mhm.
They had to rotate.
Yeah, so it's not a new issue, but it's an issue that's being addressed. It's like the pension issue. It's not a new issue. I've listened to speeches that were made by Chester Humphrey
Yeah.
at May Day celebrations where he raised the issue of pensions
Yeah.
for public workers.
Lots of
the restoration of pensions. It's not that public workers were not getting a pension. It's an insufficient pension that they're getting through the National Insurance Scheme. And that particular issue in its entirety has to be addressed.
I am so pleased that, they have addressed this issue.
Oh, yes.
You understand? And all the hard-working workers of this nation will benefit tremendously.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And that is what we want to achieve,
And we should be proud that it's a new national party that, you know the previous, the NDC had, when they won, that was part of the agenda. That I think that's how they got the people to believe that they were going to address that.
Have you seen?
And they never did.
Have you seen the laundry list of promises by the NDC?
It's huge.
For if your voters saying we're gonna do A, B, C,
Yeah.
bruh, you wasn't even paying workers' contribution to NIS.
Yeah, right.
Every time you know you can't pay salary, you used to find a foreign trip to go on. Yeah? Serious, bro. And then you come in and tell the same public workers and them.
And the foreign
go
trip
pay
is
them
for
X
17
amount?
and 18 people, right?
I mean, imagine they gave the public workers 0% raise,
Zero.
0%.
Zero over 4.5 years.
Imagine that.
Over
Right?
4.5 years, and you telling me now you could give them a one-off payment of $1,500?
$1,500?
Who you fooling?
You couldn't sell
Who
pay.
you trying to fool?
Let's take this
Hello.
call.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. How you doing, Devin?
Yes, my brother.
Okay, man. I was just coming to by the waterfall in Willis here, man. I see some people that just take off some of the butter off the stomach and throw it down in the river, man. It's looking so disgusting,
So they
I
tore down his
come on,
posters.
I mean, they could do better than that, man. They could do better than that. It's not looking at all. They could have packed it up by the side and, put it by the side and thing, but it's looking so bad in the water.
Yeah.
With
So-
tourists coming up there, huh?
So with tourists coming up there and they polluting our
just
rivers.
floating in the water, they could have just put it down by the side, pick it down and put it by the side. But
Yeah, that's pollution.
yeah, man. The enemy is behind,
It's not going to help, though. And I don't see any other Grenadian as an enemy. They see people as enemy.
Yeah.
I see them as compatriots. But
Yeah.
I see them as compatriots. I don't see them as enemies. But at the
Yep.
end of the day,
Yep, man.
All right.
Don't worry. We have it locked already. Don't worry.
They
We
go
won't
know.
have it.
They go know who is going to get thrown in the river
Thank you very
Tuesday
much.
night.
Thank you very much.
It's just a few more hours.
They might drown themselves
What
in rivers.
young song is sing?
Huh?
What you remember young song is sing a song?
We throw in and they say in the garbage can. We throw in and they say in the garbage can.
You see where
The political grave
you
done
see where
dig
we
already.
don't, you see where we don't put garbage in the garbage can, not in the river.
But as I've said at several meetings, posters don't vote.
No, posters don't vote.
And I'm also saying that those of you who are conscientious Grenadians, when you see these sort of things happening, it is supposed to let you know exactly the type of people that are putting themselves up. Have you, I didn't get to listen to the NDC meeting yesterday in its entirety yet, heard bits and pieces, but have you heard the NDC call on their supporters to behave?
No.
No.
Never.
No. Instead, they have
to all
inciting.
decent, to all
They
decent
inciting and they're
Grenadians.
sending
Yeah.
them to be scams.
Yes.
Yeah, because yesterday, for instance, you have an NNP motorcade going a particular direction.
Right.
An NDC music truck comes and sticks in the middle of it.
Yes.
And tries to provoke a confrontation. But luckily, we have been saying to the NNP supporters for a number of weeks now, expect it, ignore it.
Expect it, ignore
because
it.
all of a sudden, would that be a case? You see, they pull a camera and they take a picture and they say, look what the NNP are doing. They would not show anything about the truck coming in the middle of the NNP thing. Would that be a totally different story when they twist it.
And we have numbers, so you will see the green all over. Oh, look at what the NNP doing.
Devon, as we're on that, let me clarify something here. I was at home, on Friday morning after I left. I did do the gospel program. I didn't say anything. I came into studio. I left home, came into studio, and decided I'm just going to play gospel for the entire 2 hours. So I just had gospel tune after tune, not saying anything for the 2 hours in studio. Didn't answer the phone or anything, just played music. At the end of it, I visited a friend of mine who lives close by to here for lunch. So I was passing by. And while I was going down by him, I got a call. Sheldon, I know it's not true because I know you, but I'm hearing that you were involved in some stabbing. You stab up some man or the other over NNP. He said, that's the roommate, hot in Grenville right now. He said, I know you, and I know it's not true, but I'm letting you know what is going on. So they're spreading this rumor on you. And they said, that is why you wasn't on air today. So I'm there and I'm like, okay, but you expect that sort of nonsense to surface every now and again. Later in the afternoon, I get home. I was having a headache, so I decided I'm going to take a rest before I head out to the meetings that they had around. So I'm taking a rest, and my phone starts ringing off the hook. And I get called by Grenada Broadcasting Network, Meaningful Television, Now Grenada, the Voice newspaper, and by the New Today newspaper. All of them calling, messaging, WhatsApping, texting, wanting to find out who man a chop up. So I'm there and I'm like, well, wait. But when this thing... So one of them tells me to say they heard I was in St. David the night before. I said, but I wasn't even in St. David the night before. And it just goes to show how you have to be very careful, because up to 2 o'clock this morning, a friend of mine messaged me and said, well, look, they're just coming back from the rally and they're hearing that I was involved in this sort of thing. Let me just clarify for you all on air that nothing of the sort happened. After being the person that's been here along with Devon telling you all to expect and stay away from trouble and that kind of thing, I ain't going to get myself involved in that kind of thing.
At all.
Yeah. Not that people have not been trying. One individual, he tried it with me until he poured a whole thing, a beer down my leg onto my shoes, and I just continue walking like nothing happened. All of that happened over the past few days. Yeah? But I will not be drawn into any conflict. And you all have to take a lead from the leadership of the New National Party. We will not be drawn into any conflict. Honorable Alvin Dabrio.
Yeah.
A gentleman starts to verbally assault him. A police officer speaks to the gentleman. Alvin didn't stand up and start to rock word on the man and cuss him. He didn't stand up and start hold on to the man and start to lash him. All Alvin said was, because you know he's a cool guy. I don't think I ever see Alvin vex yet. I'm serious, I don't think I ever see him vex yet. He stands there and he just says, well, this is not the place where this is a funeral.
Yeah, that's a funeral.
So this is not the place for that sort of thing. And the guy gets more upset. And then the police steps in and he collared the policeman, want to fight with the policeman.
And look at the age of the gentleman.
70-something, 76 or something.
Yeah.
And he's now found himself in a situation with assault on a police officer, I think was obscene language, 1 or 2 other charges, about 3 or 4 charges that the courts will be taking very seriously.
Yeah.
So we continue to say to our supporters, look out for anything. Look out for anything. But please, stay calm and vote NNP.
Yeah, stay calm and
stay
vote.
calm and vote
Just leave
NNP.
them, man. Leave them, let them launch their assault.
The one thing they will do anything to stop is you walking into that polling station tomorrow morning bright and early, looking for the symbol of the house and ramming that X by the side of it. That is what they're afraid.
They're scared more than anything else.
In fact, don't ram it Don't ram it too
Don't ram
hard.
it too hard.
Don't want you
Bust
tear
the
the
paper and thing.
And folks, if you damage the ballot paper, you are allowed to request a new one.
A new one, yes.
Let's let you know that too. If you damage the ballot paper, or you made a mistake on it, or
ask for
they
one,
go over the line or something, don't try to rub it off and put it back. Just ask for a new ballot paper. Say the
And
present
one will
one.
be given to you.
Yeah. So they will not put the next one in the box. I think they have a way to fold it or destroy it or whatever
Yeah,
in
destroy
front of
it.
you.
Either put a tear on it or something
Right.
like that. Yeah.
So that will not go into the ballot box, but the new one that you get and you do properly will go into the ballot box.
So don't-
And we
don't-
know there's
don't
only
fret.
one proper way to do it.
Yes.
You want to see the symbol of the house and the space next to it. The space is on to the right
To the
of
right
it,
hand.
I believe.
To the right, to the
You're
right.
going to put your X in that space.
Right.
Ram it.
It's
Right
not
by
a
the
box.
house.
They ain't putting a box.
Yes.
They ain't putting a box, but they're leaving a space.
And don't look for color, green or not.
There's no
Look-
color in it.
Yeah, no
look,
color.
Look
Look
for the
for the
house.
symbol.
We all know what the house is because we know the government has embarked on a massive housing program over the last how many years. So we know what house is.
And if you're a religious person, look for the thing looking like a church.
Like a church. You can't make no mistake.
Look for the thing, man.
Yes.
Look for the thing looking like a church. If you're a religious person, look for the thing looking like a church.
Yeah, we eat no apple
Place,
and them kind of things, so we ain't know what a
We ain't know what we ain't know what the rest of the thing
Yeah,
is.
yes. You know what I'm
We
saying?
ain't even know we ain't even know what them thing is.
Yeah. So
All we know is house.
Interested. We interested in that. It's house.
All we know is house.
That's where we're gonna live. That's our
Yeah.
future.
Yeah.
Tell you
Shelter
first and you see
over
don't
here.
like house, they give up 1,000.
Yeah,
They
give
give
up
up
1,000.
First they don't like house, and they give up 1,000.
They don't have authority to be
And they have
speaking on
seven.
houses.
And they have 750 to distribute, and they don't distribute one.
They couldn't do it.
House.
House, man.
House.
Too much a house.
Okay, Kim is asking me here. She's not elderly, but she can't walk. Does she have to join the line? No, you
No,
can
you
also
don't.
be expedited.
Yes.
Yeah. Of course, the returning officer is the chief judge and executioner at the polling
At the
station on
polling
that
station,
day.
yes.
So they would make a determination. Yeah.
As to your
Which constituency is she in?
I'll find her.
Yeah,
I know
we'll
she's
find out because most.
Well,
because
in fact, Zingo, as soon as we're done, we're going by her.
Yeah, because
she's just a few houses away.
we're good because
Yeah, we're going and check Kim.
you know that is our job.
Kim say I don't answer my phone.
That
Okay. All right.
that is our job.
Yeah, we have to make sure that all the shut
I didn't come here to sit down.
Yeah,
That
can't
is
sit
our
down.
job.
Not time to sit down.
Transport
Look,
these people and them to the line.
as Ajamo said, until our work is over,
Yeah.
and which is a long time, we can't sit down.
Look, we have a report here again. Sheldon, yesterday my sister came from church. A van of NDC was passing. One of the guys gave her one lash of T-shirt in her face. Her glasses fell from her face and broke.
Oh my
My
God.
friend, if you all can find out who that person is or got the
Or
number
the-
of
or
the
the
vehicle,
number of the vehicle.
Yes.
once you got the number of that vehicle, the start of it there.
start
Because
there.
if
Yeah.
one man ain't talk, everybody had to pay.
Yeah, everybody would
But they have to
pay.
get back their glasses. And
Oh,
they're going to do these sort of things. They're going to do
Intimidation.
these sort of things, and they're going to try their very best to get you all,
Worked up
yeah,
and frustrated.
yeah, they're going to try their very best.
And their aim, finally, is to get you not to go and vote, you know. They ain't care about nothing else, you know. They want to make sure that you do not show up on the polling day. We cannot allow that to happen to us.
Yeah,
We
you must show up.
calm, collective,
Stay calm.
get up, take your family with you who are eligible to vote, and go and vote. By 7, 8 o'clock, all NNPites should have that ink on their finger.
Remember, if this is a game of cricket, you're the batsman.
Yes.
You have to score as much runs as possible.
Of course.
Opening bat.
Your run is to your runs are to make sure that one, you place your X, and two, that you get others to place their X. The more runs, the team with the most runs is the team that is going to win the match.
Exactly.
And it is a matchup. Yeah, it is a
matchup.
matchup.
And we
Don't look at this thing
don't-
lightly and feel
no,
that
it's
you
a
win
matchup.
already here and you win already there. You look at Pearls yesterday and you see Pearls.
Oh,
I mean, a sea of green, as my Jamaican friends who are listening would say.
Yeah.
NNP River come down bank to bank.
Yeah, man.
When we look out, me see a sea of green.
You know, certain part of the meeting, you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. Because just
Wow.
this sea of green that was there yesterday, it's good to look at.
Yes,
It's
beautiful.
nice to feel good about.
But it's good to see all these people finger dirty tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, it
And
will be wonderful.
It's even better to see all these people at the victory celebration.
Yeah.
But the only way we can get the victory celebration is you all have to go out and vote.
Have to go out and vote.
You have to go out and vote.
Tell
This
your
kind of
nene.
thing with some
And vote
people
wisely.
this kind of thing about some people about I ain't going.
You see this thing
Yes,
on-
someone is asking that if I make a mistake on the paper, can I ask for another one?
Sure
Yes.
you can.
Sure.
You can.
If you make any error on it, you can ask. That's why there's not supposed to be any spoiled votes.
Nope.
Because if you make a mistake, you can ask for another one. And remember, the only mark you're placing on that paper, if the pencil slip and you put a mark somewhere else, ask for another sheet.
Don't take chance.
Ask for another one.
If you're
Don't
sure,
take the pencil and try and rub off the next mark. It's just one mark. Don't go in there with a pen and try to use a pen and mark it. That wouldn't count. Yeah? It must be what they provide you with, the pencil. They'll give you the pencil. There's one inside there. And you put the mark with the pencil.
By the
All
house.
right? By the house.
Don't look for green.
And just a warning and just a reminder to all the voters, all our voters, NNPites. You get there, again, you be calm. Your mission is to go and vote. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
Nothing else.
No
old
confrontation.
Talk,
No old talk.
confrontation. No wasting no time. The quicker you vote and get out of there, to go out and continue to do the work to get others to come and vote will be better for you.
Yeah, don't get yourself
Right?
tied up having to go
Yes.
and think with police. Don't get yourself tied
No,
up
no, no.
inside
We not
there.
time for that.
Yeah,
You know?
we just want to do what we have to do so that Zingo don't have to go and sing our next song. Don't complain to me.
Don't blame me. Son, don't blame me. And that kind of thing. We don't want that.
Change your want to see. Don't blame me.
Oh my God.
Don't complain to me.
And I think we're real crying now
Why
on it.
complain to me?
Cry, that's all. We can't afford for that to happen again.
We don't want to do Zingo that
No.
again.
We
Yeah,
don't want to do
I don't
Zingo
want to
that
put me
again.
through that
No,
pressure
man.
again.
It's too much
You know,
hassle.
It's too much hassle.
You know, Grenadians, we are confident that the last 5 years, right, in our country, we have been moving. There has been progress from health to housing to education, name it.
We can't afford, and we can't afford to have a lovely port like that where people could go and play cricket again. You understand?
Yeah.
You remember when people used to play
have a
cricket?
stadium for that.
You had to go and wanted Wagiti to do show and
One
show
Waggy
down
to
there.
do show
We
between
have a
the,
stadium for that.
between the two little
Yeah.
continents. No.
No, we can't afford for that.
We can't afford that.
Nah.
We got to keep the progress.
Yes.
Keep it loaded like it
Yeah.
is there
You
right
see,
now.
and that is why the NNP government has been developing so many playing fields, even lighting them, because we do not want to have to go to the port
No,
of St.
we
George's.
don't want to go. We don't want to go
You
to
know,
the
starting to
port.
play cricket and football and that kind of thing. Wagiti bingo, it's nice in the stadium. We like it there.
You know,
understand?
you know them fellas and them down, they actually call up them and tell down, he say, oh God, boss, you better you come down and get a little game down, eh?
What is the most amount of trucks on a daily basis I used to see pack up. No, I'm telling you, that was the most. Oh my God.
Even the little vendor that used to go down there with a little container of juice going back with some of the juice.
Yeah, because they can't sell. Men used to have to leave their truck there for 2
No,
days and go home and waiting
days?
for a call.
2 days?
No, when I say that, I'm waiting for a call for a man to say, boy, you have a little thing here, you know, come down there.
Listen, man. You this is no joke, you know. While this was happening, you talk about 2 days, 2 weeks, man truck back up there. I know for a fact, workers in Hubbards, sometimes they work 1 week in a month. In a whole month, they work 1 week.
It was that bad?
Oh, you mean if it was that bad?
Well, I mean, I couldn't
Well,
see
you
that.
couldn't see it
I was on the
because
next side.
because you
I
was
on the
there.
next-
You was there with them.
I was there, so I couldn't see it, honestly. But it was that bad?
It was that bad. I'm telling you, that is facts.
Maudlin just corrected me. She said it's the presiding officer that's in charge, not the returning officer. the
presiding
presiding
officer.
officer.
Yeah.
You're correct, Maudlin.
Yes.
Yeah, she's correct.
Thanks for the correction, my dear.
Presiding officer is in
Presiding
charge.
officer. He's a head cook, hancho, the man who could do whatever within the
And
law.
folks, just remember, we'll continue to say it because the New National Party is a peaceful party, right? So do not allow yourselves to be drawn into any confrontation or confusion, be it today, tomorrow, or any time after.
Anytime. Be
Yeah?
patient.
Do not allow yourselves to be drawn into confrontation.
Be patient.
Right? Your life is in danger. You must protect yourself. Nobody is saying to stand up and let anybody kill you. But at the end of the day, is it really worth it to get involved in some of the confrontations that we're seeing there, be it verbal or be it physical, and so in some instances,
And
it's
then
not worth it.
with your own Grenadian brothers who we have after March 13th, we have to live with, we have to work with, right? We have to love each other because we all Grenadians. We're looking for betterment. It just happens that the NNP at this point in time has the best team, right? And is more competent than any other political party to run Grenada for the next 15 years.
Yes, indeed.
Right?
Folks,
So-
we've got to wrap.
Yep.
We've got to wrap.
So sad.
We should be having a program tonight.
Yes.
All right. We'll send out some messages, and via the New National Party WhatsApp and so on, we'll let you all know exactly what is taking place. But we may, pretty well may, have a program tonight. If not a repeat of this program, we may have a live program
Special
tonight.
program.
Yeah?
Hopefully.
Okay, folks. So that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. Once again, we'd like to thank Zingo for making our part. Zingo, before you go, what's Zingo? Where's that Zingo?
Yeah, where's that Zingo?
You don't want to know, man. Let's wrap our talk.
Let's leave that one for next time.
Let's leave that one for. You know what? When you come in Bushes Wednesday or Tuesday night, I'm going to tell you what's a Zingo.
What's that Zingo? Okay, I'll go find out. Because present people have to tell me what's that Zingo.
Blue
bubbles, ding,
ding,
ding, ding, ding, ding laughing.
Short man.
Because
Short
Ding
man.
used to be, remember,
Travelers bar.
Ding would have be right there watching the cricket taking place.
Yeah,
on the
yeah, Ding
Not
would
me,
have-
you know.
Right
Ding would have be
there.
right
Yeah.
there watching everything, you know.
Every day, but
Ding
when
know
you
that.
get bored, when you get bored,
Yeah.
you're watching the play.
Sometimes
empty
ball
play
land in the
field.
road, they don't know if it come from Tantin or the port.
Or the Never again. You Grenadians have to go back
we
there.
don't want to return to those
No,
kind of
no,
days.
no,
You
not
know, we
again.
don't want to return to those
Not
kind of
again.
days. You know,
And
so-
when you think about over that $100 million in grant we have
Yeah.
just received
For that
the
water
development
project.
For that
of the
water project.
in our country.
So that's
Pure
going to
water.
improve the water supply
Yes.
because we've been
Yeah.
having issues every now and again.
Exactly.
That's going to
Imagine
improve the
that.
water supply.
From Caracou to the north to Point Saline to the south.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's amazing. But you know what?
and oil.
Uh,
Anyway, that's all the time we have for Hard
Keep
Talk today. It's been
moving.
wonderful being here with you
Moving.
folks. Remember to get on out and vote
Moving.
early. We say get on out and vote early.
Early.
Yeah.
Don't look for the green. Look
Don't-
for the house.
Look for the house. That's what we're looking for. House. No colors on this
No
paper.
colors on the back.
You ain't see no picture and nobody on
Yeah.
it. What you're seeing is the name, the party, I believe, the symbol. The main thing,
Symbol.
the symbol. That's what you're looking for.
Symbol.
Look for the
Symbol.
symbol. The
And
symbol of the
place
house.
the X next to it in the place that they tell you. All right?
Just
Nice?
remember where you have to rest your head after election day.
Inside
The
the
house.
Yeah. All right, folks, that's all the time. And whatever you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Zingo, you touch a piece of that?
Yeah.
So much people complaining about the government. I wonder why they complaining when it's only 1 year they spent. They come in and complain to me, which I find was strange. Because the election victory, majority voted for change. So then I start to wonder, what was some of them seen? Why complain to the Zingo when you know my color is green? See, you didn't have patience. That's the reason why. Or something pricking your conscience. Little lie.
Don't blame me.
Don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Don't blame me. Don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Boy, 13 years we in power. You was in opposition. You won with your propaganda. Not again. No more propaganda. Not this time. Appeal to them old people whose promise in the head. If they only vote for you, pension will be 400. So much seniors they turn out to give you their support. Right now some of them hand to mouth because your L and they throat. $50 you increase. That's not what you promise. And if they have children overseas, you remove their name from the list. And you know the men still doubting that? They're still doubting that 400 thing. Nazim, you're real good. Don't blame me. Don't complain to me. Why complain to me? Oh Lord. Don't blame me.
Don't complain to me.
Why complain to me?
Change you wanted to see. Whoa. You said it was not working. If they only give you a chance, you do some improving.
You went out to them, Imani, and make them understand.
If they vote for NDC, you giving them a grand.
Now you from the government,
you bring youth empowerment. All who were getting 700 right now, they're getting a set. 7 months now they gone home. You know Randall wanted to tell me the other day that no Imani was sent off. What's the people? So I sing about future then.
Do we?
Why complain to me? Change you wanted to see. Oh, don't blame me.
Don't complain to me.
Why complain to me? That was a boss line.
Since after the election,
supporters threatening me. They have a letter from Adnan. Go home immediately.
So tell my friends and my family not to worry about me.
When they carry the letter, just take it easily. Don't call the radio station. Don't preach victimization. Cause if you all know the madman, this youth always have a plan. We have a plan to come back. The plan was to come back.
One door closer, the madman.
Another one will open. We have a plan. And Dr. Mitchell is a political genius. I've never seen that in my life.
That's all the time. We got.
Why complain to me? Change come to this country.